This was based on the fact that she had not made any plans to visit family or friends in Canada or anywhere else that police were aware of, and Olga had left behind all the documents and belongings that people would normally carry with them on any kind of trip. In addition to leaving her purse on top of her bed, she also left behind all of her luggage, her passport, and her driver's license. Then there was the witness statement that Olga's landlady provided to the police. According to Dorothy, after she heard Olga's friends leaving Olga's apartment at about 11 p.m. on the night of Monday, November 17th, Dorothy reported hearing footsteps on the stairs outside of her own bedroom window. At the time, she believed she was hearing her neighbors, but the next day, when Olga was home, those neighbors told Dorothy, no, they had Moya rolled her body into that shallow grave. In the end, the cause of Olga's death was suffocation, and her final breaths were lungfuls of dirt and gravel. On March 17, 1959, after what newspapers described as California's trial of the decade, Elizabeth Betty Duncan, Luis Moya, and Augustine Baldonado were all found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and sentenced to death. 3.5 years later, on August 7, 1962, Luis and Augustine stepped into the same gas chamber at San Quentin Prison, where they were strapped into adjoining wooden chairs and exited. The next day, on August 8, 1962, at 10 in the morning, Betty Duncan was executed alone in the same gas chamber, the last woman ever to be executed in the state of California. Betty Duncan's last words were, "Where's Frank?" On December 30th, 1958, 9 days after the discovery of Olga.
Once they arrived back and they were up in Dennis's apartment, the pair had lots of drinks and they were having fun and laughing.
Thank you for your
The next morning, when Dennis got up, his new friend, Stephen, was still sleeping right next to him. And he had this sudden, overwhelming, wanted Stephen to stay. And so he looked on the ground next to the bed, and he saw the necktie that Stephen had been wearing was on the ground. And so he got on the ground, he grabbed the necklace, he fashioned it out of a noose, and then he got it back on the bed, got on top of Stephen's chest, and he looped the tie around his neck, and he was as tight as he could. And as soon as it was tight, Dennis would tell police that Stephen came alive. He began reaching for his neck and kicking Dennis as hard as he could, but he just can't get it off. And at some point, Dennis said Stephen just seemed to give up. He looked up at Dennis and knew he wasn't going to get this off, and Dennis was determined to kill him. And so Stephen...
story, but it's one worth listening to.
Thank you.
Before we get started, if you are into strange and mysterious stories, my channel is